Alright guys, what's going on? What's cracking? Drinking a Mick Ultra again this time, but big news. We probably already saw from the title of this because I never really hide anything because clickbait's not my thing, so let's just show you. So there it is guys, we have a VVTI motor. Thank you to Joe Miller. He helped me get this and kind enough to actually deliver it for me also. And he's like, look, what kind do you need? Because I'm going to explain a few things with you guys. What's specific to the Supra, everyone thinks the 2JZs are all the same, which they're not. Well, first off, let's start with this. This is a VVTI motor. What's that mean? Variable valve timing motor. So the intake side cam actually has, I'd have to go over in detail. I'm actually probably going to make a video on that, but it actually uses oil to help increase pressure, which then increases lift. Kind of works like VTEC, but it doesn't work like VTEC. On top of this too, this is from an Aristo, but if you can see here, it has a mid-sump pan. So for a Supra, it needs this mid-sump, or what we call in the Supra world, a rear sump pan. A regular Aristo has one up front. Now, the one thing I did notice is the way the AC lines come in are different, and the wiring box and stuff is different too, so the ECU is sitting in there, because the ECU and an Aristo and all that stuff sits inside the engine bay. So this came with everything. You can see, has the whole box, includes everything in it. A lot of this I'm not going to need or use, so I'll be posting up what I don't use from it, especially the stock twins. I won't be using any of that. Another thing with this is an automatic, but this is an A340 automatic from an Aristo. Unlike a Supra, this is a sealed one, so it's a completely sealed unit. I'm not sure, and I gotta stop saying I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it exactly. I'm not sure if I'm going to build this one or build the one that's already in the Supra. I'm not sure what's best. I'm going to contact ATF and see what to do. I really would like to do a 6R80 still. That would be my ultimate goal, but you got to see what financially makes sense. I got to talk to Jose. As much me and him butt heads. Love you, fuckface. Even though you're an asshole, I still love you. So I just want to throw that out there. And another thing is, this is clean. So one thing Joe actually mentioned too, he's like, I make sure they don't clean up. So he's like, I apologize if it's a little dirty. He's like, but I'd rather them not pressure wash this or that, because if you get it then, and they've pressure washed it and it looks pretty, that's great, but what if they get water in the wrong spot? He's like, I'd rather leave it dirty and then I'll figure it out from there. He said dirt doesn't hurt me, but you know, if they get water in the wrong spot and destroy coil packs or do whatever, that's gonna hurt me more. Another thing too, when I pull the coil cover off, you'll be able to see the coil packs for these are totally different too. I think one thing with this I'd like to do, if I'm gonna go standalone, I'd like to go ahead and replace those. I'd sell them also, but I'd like to go with the I believe it's Prius coil packs, which has the igniter and everything built into it, makes things a little bit simpler. So I'm going to try that and a couple other things, but today what I'd like to get done is getting the transmission off. So first thing you have to do with that is this is your gear selector, believe it or not. That's your gear selector there. You need to take this, and that's the whole way forward. So that's park. So we pull it back one. Oops, sorry. If we try and pull it back one here, and then two, that should be neutral, because obviously you got park, reverse, and then neutral. So that's neutral. The reason for that is you want to be able to have it so it's not engaged, so when I remove the bell housing, it'll slip apart. If you leave it in any type of gear or leave it in park, it's locking the transmission. It won't let you pull the tranny off. So just a little FYI guys, if you're pulling the automatic transmission, you have to do that. After that guys, what you need to start doing, because you don't want to rip these off, start removing the plugs. Here's another reason. Look how clean the plugs are on this. Big plus of having a VVTI over the older motors is this definitely came out of a newer car. Like, look how easy. Boom. Which I already disconnected. There's another one over here. See if any of these. Oh wow, that popped. Wow. Wow. New car, new motors. Makes life a lot. Look at that. Guys, I'm not sure if you've ever taken plugs off, especially an old motor or trans. The heat these things see, the clips always break. So, and I can't get my finger down on that one because I'm an idiot. Oop, I can't get my hand down there. Dang it, nabbit. Alright, so that's all off, and I went ahead and started taking, you see there, the bolts off. So some are 17 millimeter, a lot of the top ones are. For the starter bolts, those are actually 14 millimeter, and then you'll have some 14 millimeters on the bottom. So it's a mix of 17 and 14 millimeters. These lines, are they attached to anything? See, I gotta make sure too, before I'm about to raise up the trans, you see this, how much that thing's bowing there. That's supposed to hold 1,000 pounds, but I think the motor with everything on it, I think it still weighs like 550, so that thing says it can hold that, but I'm pretty damn sure I've got her beyond maxed out. It's probably junk after this, but thank you Harbor Freight for being as cheap as you are. Trying to think, am I missing anything else? That's neutral. What's up here? I guess I'll just remove the lines up, remove the line from right here, and I can just pull the whole trans and all that off then. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Guys, so I'm pulling it off already. I got the bottom bolts out, lower this down. Also don't do this because I broke my last strap. Don't use 500-pound straps to pick up about 1,000 pounds worth of weight, because that's how you die. So don't do that. When I put it up there, I'm gonna go get an actual bar. But because it's down on that, I'm not as worried. And don't worry about the oil pan either. The actual metal pan I'm gonna replace. But you can see it's already separating again. Make sure it's in neutral. Make sure this is in neutral, and then slide this off, and we should be good. Whew. And that is separated, guys. All right, guys, so I made one crucial mistake. I learned that you're supposed to take the torque converter off first. How about it, Corey? Fucking idiot. Yep, fucking idiot. So you're supposed to take the torque converter bolts off first, then undo the transmission bolts and slide it off as all one unit, then pull it off there if need be, or you can leave it on. Once you do that, which sucked, because the reason it sucked is you have to do it through this little window opening right here under the motor. Well, you can't put it on an engine stand with the torque converter on. It won't bolt up. So have it with this little rope hanging in the air. Sketchy as hell. Sketchy as hell. But this part's easy. All we gotta do, I believe these are 14mm bolts. I'll rip these off here next, which will then give us access to the back of the motor and everything that I need. And then we're gonna put it on the engine stand. And then we gotta start Corey's brakes. I wanted to mention too, guys, the headlights, turn signals, all that stuff are already sold. As you can see, I have them in the box here. I'm waiting to ship them out here today. I had to take my 98s because I wanted to make sure these got shipped well, so I took my 98 headlights out of the boxes and put my old ones in here so they got shipped properly, and just used their OEM box, so there's no chance of getting screwed up. All the plastics are sold. A couple other things are sold. Like, stuff on this thing's selling a lot faster than I thought it would, which is good. But that's, I mean, it's good for me. Back to this though, what I need to do next is take off the harness. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it today. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time. But one thing I wanted to go over with you guys, if you've ever seen like a normal 2JZ like that, which will be like a USDM style, even in Japan they look like that. But up until, I want to say, was it 99, they went over to the VVTI in Japan. And in Japan, they have these coil packs, and there's 3 of them. And off each coil pack, there is plug wires. So to me, I personally think this is janky. I think this is janky compared to directly having the coil pack directly on top of it. Just looks cleaner, nicer. I'm not sure if these are cheaper or not, or there could be more money. I don't know. But I was like a little disappointed when I saw them. Like, ugh, don't like that. Another thing I don't like with the VVTI is there is more electronics to it. It does have an electronics, this ETCSI, so it has regular throttle body, right? Regular wired throttle body, but it also has like a drive-by wire setup. It is so weird. Again, I need to talk to Jose. I'd love to, I wish he was close by and like have a sit down and like him explain it for you, because I usually do it and I butcher it and it doesn't do it justice. He could explain it better in depth. Like me even repeating what he said never does it justice. So I wish he was here so he could kind of reiterate like, this is why it's this way. Then you also have this. For the VVTI, you have your oil solenoid. This is for the variable valve timing. You can see it's 2 wires. I believe there's anything else. Then you got the wire, the oil, which picks up there and goes up. Is there anything else that's weird? There's a little thing. The intake manifold's different on these. Just little things that are different. It's nothing too crazy. I don't believe this bolt or this is like that. I don't believe there's a little bridge like that on that manifold. I believe it just sits there freely, so I'm not sure if that's necessary. There's only, let me see here, the VVTIs only have one, oh, it's in the very back too. They only have one crank signal sensor, or not crank, I'm sorry, valve or cam sensor, where that motor has 2. I believe these are still 440cc injectors in here. Again, I have to look into that. USDM cars came with 550s. That motor came with 440s. I'm trying to think of what else is different. The twin turbos are ceramic. Still mid sump, which is a good thing. Most of these are front sump, so I'm lucky there. I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but I think that's it for right now. Next video you guys are going to want to see is the one coming up here. Got to meet with Mike, Street Speed 717, which it's kind of cool to finally get to meet and talk to him. So funny, like 2 years ago, I guess it's been 2 years, or maybe it's not quite that long, 1.5 years. I did the YouTube call out, and they were all there and stuff, but I was in the back, and I never got to really talk to anybody. I was just busy, kind of unfortunate. Took 1.5 years, and now we got to meet up. One of the nicest people you ever meet. Super, super nice guy. You're gonna have to check out that video. You already saw I posted something regarding it, but you have to watch that. Mike's will probably be up tonight. Great guy, great video. I got to meet John Turner too. Awesome guy too. It sucks because some YouTubers get a bad name. I don't get it. It sucks because people just assume and judge, and just like anything, it's just that's the nature of the beast. But I'm just trying to put it out there. Super nice people. Couldn't ask for a nicer guy to deal with. Yeah. All right, guys, and on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Next video, most likely we'll be showing a teardown of the motor, taking the wiring off, start taking the turbos off. If we get this out, which he's got about 2 weeks left till he goes to tuning, which I'm pumped for that. I'm pretty excited to see what he makes. And then we have mine the following week, which super excited for that. I'm looking for that 800 wheel horsepower mark. I really, really want to hit that 800 wheel horsepower mark. I think that's where it should be. I think it should be able to handle it. Let's pray for the best, guys. Let's pray and hope for the best. Some good ED5 in there, and hopefully it makes some good jam. Again, guys, on that note, thank you very much for tuning in today, and I appreciate all the support. Look out for that next video, and I'll talk to you later. Peace!